Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on a Thursday, coming to you from our respective man caves or whatever you want to call it, broadcast studios. Yeah, that sounds better. Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz. I'm a little bit out of sorts today because I had too much fun at last night's Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival bar fights cocktail competition, and I was one of the judges, and we had a grand old time. I'll talk more about that later. Defo, how are you doing today? And I guess we have our guest on the line already. So
Sure.
Defo, just say you're fine, and then I'm going to
I'm doing well.
Great. Okay. Yeah, without further ado, because we don't
Yeah.
like to waste our guests' valuable time, and I'm very happy to welcome for her debut on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox today.
Wow, beautiful lady.
Ingrid Hoffman, local, you should know her. I mean, she's been in the South Florida, Miami area for decades. She's been a chef, restaurateur, cookbook author, and TV personality. You've seen her everywhere. I think she's been on Food Network, Univision, Telemundo, Cooking Channel. Ingrid Hoffman, how are you today? And welcome to the Lunchbox.
Hi guys, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a while. I guess, man, I haven't seen you since the days where back when I was still writing for the Sun Sentinel. And
I saw
you-
you in the kitchens of the
Yes.
Syrian refugee kitchen.
yeah, that was quite a story. Are they still cooking? Are they still
Yeah.
going? They're
Yeah,
going strong.
they are.
That's a tremendous story. A group of women who came over from the battled land of Syria and were welcomed with open arms here, and they started putting together various foods and Middle Eastern foods and selling them at markets, and then they did a dinner for the one of the other festivals down here. But you're here to talk about the upcoming Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival and what's going on. What are you going to be doing there this weekend?
Well, I'm gonna start with a cocktail. Is everybody here hungover from last night? Is
I
that
am.
what
Mayo.
Lubie
I
Bell.
I wasn't at the event, but I'm still hungover. I live that way.
For other reasons.
Yeah.
I'm starting with a guava jalapeno margarita,
Nice.
and then I am going to make a Catalan paella, which is a noodle paella. And then I am going to do a frisee salad with toasted hazelnuts, manchego cheese, jamon serrano, and I'm missing something with a guava vinaigrette. So
And-
I'm kind of doing Spanish with Caribbean twist with, kind of like we call that an arroz con mango, when you do like a mix of different things. And it's, my mom's mother was from Spain. And so I grew up with Colombian and Spanish food, with some Bolivian and Argentinian, which her father. And then, being raised in the Caribbean, had all those Caribbean flavors. And as a matter of fact, with the whole FAA thing yesterday, I got stuck in Bonaire. So
Wow.
I am in Bonaire.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay. So you are still overseas. That's yeah. What a that's a
This may
nice
be a lunchbox first. An international guest, truly international.
international.
We've had
guest.
people getting arrested on the air. We've had people stopped by the police for profiling incidents, but never anybody overseas. Actually, this is great.
No, and getting stuck on like a spectacular beach, with
Yeah.
crystalline blue waters in a hammock with palm trees kind of sucks.
So you weren't complaining when you got to the ticket counter.
No, my only
shot today.
stress truly was getting to the festival, because this island only has once a week flights.
Whoa.
Oh no.
And so yeah, with the U.S. So then, literally, American Airlines said, "Well, next week, Thursday, next week,
good luck.
Wednesday,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "No, that can't happen." So we finally were able to, after a lot of stress, be able to get tomorrow morning. We fly to Curacao on a small puddle jumper. And we were able to score probably the last 2 seats on American Airlines out of Curacao.
Oh
And
wow.
hopefully
Hopefully you'll
we
be
will
back.
Hopefully
some
we're in
dedication.
Fort Lauderdale making what I just told you guys.
Yeah.
Because if not, I don't know what's going to happen.
Wait, so this is going to be this is at the grand tasting on Saturday. You're going to be doing a
Yes.
demonstration, right? Yes.
I
So
believe it's at 3:20 that I go on.
okay. And this
Um,
is going to be at the Las Olas Beachfront Park. And I got to advise you to maybe bring some mittens and a scarf because the forecast says it's going to be a high of 60 degrees with high winds. And along the beach there, I know it could get quite
it
chilly.
can get.
Yeah.
I
So
remember that from one year at Sobe. I don't
right.
know if you guys remember that, but it was freezing. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Actually, I welcome that because I'm a sweater. And when
Okay.
I do those events and
Yeah.
there's a lot, in the heat and with a hot stove on, I generally am always like, I know I'm super sweating. So I actually welcome it. So, but I'll
Yeah,
bring
it's
my,
always refreshing, but I'm just warning people that who go out there, and again, it is a sellout, so there are more tickets to be had. But for those of you in the audience who are going on Saturday, and hopefully we'll be checking out Ingrid Hoffman at 3:20, all the stands. I know a lot of places usually like have crudos and seafood that is chilled because it usually stays. It's one of those things that make for good refreshing fare when it's a little bit warmer and humid outside. And I was saying maybe some restaurants, or maybe you could whip up a quick conch chowder or something like that to keep us warm. But
that sounds delicious.
yeah, so
Mayo,
yeah, if you get stuck tomorrow, let me or I guess the organizers know, because one of the people I met last night who got one of the tickets that because Lubie and his dear wife couldn't attend because she wasn't feeling well, is a private pilot for Next Jets and Net Jets and all those things. So maybe we could dispatch him. I met him, a nice guy from Jamaica named Richard, and maybe we could just send him in one of his Net Jets to pick you up right there from the island.
If NetJets would like to sponsor that, sure. Because I was so desperate yesterday that I actually started looking around and getting quotes in case that I couldn't get out. And so, yeah, I mean, the cheapest to be able to get a small plane here would have been like $14,000 and not a jet, but a twin engine. So it would have taken like 6 hours from here without a bathroom to Miami. So I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. And the jet would have been $32,000. So
does that include fuel, or is that like you have to pay for the gas on top
fuel
of that?
and landing costs? Apparently, landing here is like super expensive. So that was one of the things. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's how desperate we were. We're like, let's try and see if we can get something private. But yeah, no.
All right. Well,
No.
I'm sure it's all going to work out. So tell us what.
You know what? They're flying already, so it should be okay.
Cool. So tell us what have you been up to lately? Where can people see you or buy? Do you have any cookbooks that are coming out or recently?
No. My last cookbook was 3 years ago.
Okay.
And to tell you the truth, for me, cookbooks, it's one of the things I love doing the most because it's unrestricted in the sense that I can do what I want. But at the same time, they're, each one takes 5 years and they're grueling. I generally cry through them sometimes because it's difficult. It's it's gonna live on a piece of paper forever, and you want to sort of do something between what you want, but also what people can relate to and what people would care to have in their houses. And then with the last book for me, I wanted that book to be inexpensive because it was a book that is taking Latin classics and making them super healthy, but healthy to have the seal of the American Diabetes Association. And so it was one of the hardest works I've ever done because trying to get something absolutely delicious that is fried and that's got a ton of lard and cream and you name it to taste good and have the same texture requires a lot of creativity and a lot of do-overs because, somehow you think, well, maybe if we try this, let's see. And it's like you keep trying, you keep trying, and you keep trying. And, on some you have to eventually abandon ship. But once you actually are able to sort of say, like, I'm proud of this dish, it tastes almost the same and the texture is the same, but it actually is super healthy, then it was something that was great. But then we couldn't have a lot of pictures in it. So that was the last book, and it kind of left me drained.
Oh, what was the name
And
of that?
it's
What was the name of that book? Was that Latin Delight or no?
Clásicos Latinos a lo Saludable, or Latin Comfort Foods Made Healthy.
Okay.
And so since then, I've been working on developing a drink and a wellness drink. And when I say wellness drink, it's to manage hormones, pain management, and so
Inflammation, things like that. It's
exactly,
anti-inflammatory. Yeah, I need some
yeah,
of that. So does Defo
yeah.
because he has gout and he banged up his foot when he was over in the Bahamas at Atlantis last month. So, what
I
would you prescribe? I guess for what kind of wellness drink for like
Well, the
gout or
first thing I
inflammation?
would describe for gout is you need to go on, on a very strict plan and no booze to begin with. I have a feeling. I have a feeling if he was at Atlantis, he was having booze.
Well, it wasn't too bad. No, that was a rough one. Cherry juice would be the cure there. I mean, you got to throw a lot of cherry juice, and it tastes like crap. But that,
Tart
that
cherry
yeah,
juice,
yeah,
right?
that
Not the
that
sweet
gets rid of
stuff.
very expensive too. I mean, they know the
Yeah,
people who have gout are desperately in need of this stuff, so they're charging like $10 a jar,
right.
which is rough.
Well, right. So, a lot of turmeric, no sugar, everything that is anti-inflammatory, cruciferous vegetables, um, no dairy, but mainly no sugar, no dairy, no alcohol, no
No
red
fun.
meat.
Yeah, no frisbees, no dogs. I mean,
Yeah, it's
like the sign on that cold beach as you get down there ready to make the paella. Did you say noodle paella, by the way?
Yeah, which is,
How's that work as opposed to the traditional rice?
I
it's so
what's that
one of
called?
the,
It's a different
it's a,
name, right?
it's a fideuà
Yeah.
from fideo.
Mm.
And it is mostly from the region of Catalonia, Catalan. And so it's funny because, like all of the, provinces and cities that come, like ours is better. So there's always been a regionalismo between, the Catalan and the Madrileños and also the Basque. So the technique mostly is you take thin noodles and you fry them before. So you kind of toast them, very light oil. So it's not a deep frying, it's more like let's toast them. So, and the reason that you toast them is so that they don't absorb all the liquid that you continue pouring in. And so therefore they maintain their texture. And I love it because it's a super, super easy, fast recipe that doesn't require so much of the technique of the rice, how people
Yeah.
say you need to leave the rice at this specific point and you need to add the liquid, so it takes manning, and then it makes normal people very insecure of making, because and friends always say to me, but oh my god, would never dare to do a paella because it's so difficult, and it really isn't. And I think that it's also like a question of taste, how you like your rice, and everybody likes their rice different. But the noodles take out all of that. You just
Mm.
toast them, and there's no wrong. I mean, you can't really go wrong with this paella. You can do it in less than 25 minutes. You're
Wow.
literally from beginning to end eating. And so, which is one of the things, we're also feeding 5 people in the audience. And so we had to sort of pick recipes that were recipes that we do from beginning to end, that would be ready so that people could try them. And so it is one of my favorite go-tos. I do it a lot for entertaining.
Do you
And
use it
what
with a shrimp? Is it like the traditional like paella, clam, shrimp, a chicken,
you
sausage, or what?
you know we do it with seafood, and I like to do mussel, squid, and shrimp. And I do a lot with lobster, and only because my boyfriend catches a lot of lobster. He
Nice.
hunts for lobster scuba diving, so we get a lot of lobster. So I've like started making it with lobster. It's delicious, and but I also people, if you don't like seafood, then you do it with chicken. The only thing that I recommend is brown your chicken and semi cook it before you add it on, because it's such a quick cooking dish that
Does your boyfriend spear the lobsters? Is he a real man? Like he's diving and he's spearing his
he
lobsters?
gets it with his hands.
Oh wow, his bare
Who
hands.
spears a lobster? Mayo?
That- that-
Where?
He
What have you
goes
been watching?
with
I
gloves,
don't know.
and he has a stick, so he props
Yeah,
them.
you got the tickle
He
stick.
goes under the rocks, and the minute that you prop them, they want to run. And the minute that they run, he grabs them, and then he goes down with like a little net bag, and he sticks them in, and he continues. But now during season, oh my God, we come up with 48 lobsters.
wow.
Everybody has a license, so we how do you say meter? We measure them.
Measure, yeah,
We
you do.
measure them, and do the right thing. But it's incredible the amount of lobsters that we have in Florida.
Yeah, well,
And
I feel so inadequate because I'm a Jew from Brooklyn. When I want lobster, I go down to Christine Lee's and order the lobster in ginger scallion
Could you
sauce.
see Mayo on the beach with a spear gun, telling people he's going lobster?
my boyfriend is a
Lobstering?
Jew from Long Island.
Oh,
Really?
okay. Now I really feel
There you
inadequate.
go, man.
I feel even closer to you now. After that. You mentioned the Spanish restaurants, and we have a personal favorite, the Cafe Seville, Broward County. I think among the best anywhere in the country. Do you have a couple of personal favorites? Because I know there are many fine ones in South Florida.
Oh my God. Let me think of personal favorites.
Well, Miami has a Portuguese restaurant, like something. I think it's
Yeah, Porto
Cafe
Sagua, it's
Lisbon.
been there
Oh,
forever. Delicious.
yeah.
Not Porto Sagua. Sorry, the other one.
There's, I think it's Lisbon Cafe or something
Yes,
like
Old
that.
Lisbon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
delicious.
Old
Been
Lisbon,
there forever.
but again, when you're in Miami, again, it's more of the blending of the South American cultures.
America,
and, yeah. There's so many of the now
I mean, the
Uruguayan
explosion.
and
Yeah. The explosion of incredible restaurants in Miami is out of control, and I'm so happy to see that Fort Lauderdale, that even the tourism board and the entities that are part of what this culture that is being formed and created in Fort Lauderdale, that this is happening, because it's really, I think that Miami itself is oversaturated. And I see so much opportunity, even like now, like I spend a lot of time in between. My mom lives in West Palm and my boyfriend is in Boca. And so I tend to drive up and down and in between. And so it's great to see that we're starting to give the importance to the chefs in the area. For me, Timon, Balu opening up
Oh, yeah.
the Catherine,
everybody
it's
loves
like,
Timon, yeah, and Marissa. It's
how
great to
can
see
you
them.
not love them? Like,
Yeah.
seriously. So I'm starting to hear from a lot of chef friends that are asking me, what do you think of Boca? What do you think of Fort Lauderdale? Like, what about Palm Beach? And I'm like, guys, this is the time. Like,
Delray Beach, Lake Worth, they're all booming now. And again,
yeah. I go to a place on the water in Delray that I like called Prime Catch.
Yeah.
And only because you can go in your bathing suit, and it's actually good food on the
They
water.
have a dock there. I think technically it's Boynton Beach. It's Boynton Beach.
Yes, you're
Boulevard.
right. It is.
Yeah. But it's a good place. So
because it used to be that in Miami you couldn't find good food on the water. It would be fried, whatever, like the typical, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's days that's like, let's go to divey food. But if you want to go out and have like a high quality meal, Miami now has so much of that. And that I think is hard to find.
Yeah, and close to where we're going to be on Saturday, which is the Las Olas Beachfront Park, there, where Ingrid Hoffman will be giving a cooking demonstration at 3:20. Hopefully, if all the flights make it from, but yeah, she'll make it there, and it's going to be a great time. But up and down that stretch now, where there's a lot of hotels, high-end hotels, but they're doing a good job with all their restaurant and food and
Yeah,
beverage programs. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to go into S3, where we did a show last week. Stands for
No.
Sun, Surf, and Sand, at the bottom of the Beach Hilton Hotel there.
Oh,
And they
how
have this
fun.
chef that is doing all kinds of great, wonderful seafood things. Her name is Lindsay Waters Soto, and she worked at some of the finest restaurants. She came out from Northern California, and she worked at French Laundry and with
Oh,
Dominique
wow.
Crenn. And
Wow.
so, seeing some of these great pedigrees.
That's
Uh,
one to try then. I
yeah.
think I was saying before, it's like to go in a boat, like when you're like
Yep,
on the
yep.
boat and it's like
Dine and
that
Dock.
type
Yes.
of,
Dock and Dine.
yeah,
Yeah.
dine and dock.
Yeah.
But S1,
S3.
hopefully
S3.
soon,
Yeah,
S3.
yeah, and then there's this
Awesome.
new Mediterranean restaurant in the Four Seasons. It's called Evelyn's, and this young chef Brandon Solomon, who worked for a while under Chef Mauro Calagreco, who has a place up in Palm Beach. Anyway, there's these young chefs who have a lot of talent that are now making their way to these Fort Lauderdale restaurants, and they're really worthwhile culinarily. So it's nice to see. Hey, asking about the noodle paella again, and it's called what, Fidelia? It's
Siewa.
yeah. Do you see it any on any menus? Because I really don't see
I
it that
never heard
much.
of something.
Actually, the last
No?
time I saw it was on a buffet of all places at Dania Highlight, when they had their like buffet going, and they had a Spanish chef who made that noodle paella, and I absolutely loved it. It was the only thing there
Yeah,
that
it's
I actually
delicious.
could tolerate. It was great.
To me, I like doing it because it's unexpected. People don't know it, and it's delicious. And so, no, I don't think I've seen it in Florida on a menu.
I think there's an opportunity there. So
There
we'll
you
have
are.
to tell some of our chef friends to get with it and develop.
It's
Maybe,
incredible
yeah.
though to see the right now on this island, which is tiny, a lot of Spanish food influence. Like it's like you're in the Caribbean, and it's like tapas and yeah, like a lot of jamon serrano.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of like Spanish influence. Like that
The
kind of was
Iberico
like
ham is everywhere now. The
yeah,
acorn-fed pigs and all that.
yeah.
That's good quality stuff.
I was joking today, telling my friend that my memories of Fort Lauderdale always are when I was in high school, and I had a fake ID, and I would go to spring break into
Button
the
South.
button and the candy store.
Well, we might have bumped into each other one of those days, because that's
So
how I
fun.
became familiar with Fort Lauderdale. That was in the early 80s.
He was also operating under an alias at that time, so
Late
you might not
70s.
remember
I might be
the
older
encounter.
than you. So
Yeah.
No, we're about the same age. I'm not going to divulge any secrets, but I participated in a couple of those wet T-shirt contests. It was not a pretty sight.
I don't think anybody wanted to see you in a wet
And I
T-shirt, though,
say
Michael.
you were in the
Yeah.
contest.
Although you were
It was
in better shape.
inadvertent. You
Better
get
shape,
drunk
I think.
enough and you just start getting up there. So
Yeah.
anyway, hey Ingrid, so what are you up to now? Can people see anything in production on TV, or what's going
no,
on?
not at the
broadcast-wise?
moment. At the moment, I said to you, I've been doing the R&D for this concept now for
I'm a drink.
quite some
Yeah.
time. It's been pretty challenging because it's actually a real drink, and so we have been doing literally like trying to get a real drink to. One of the things is that all the few cannabis drinks that exist on the market don't really use real ingredients.
Okay.
They are flavorings. And so you don't have the reactivity to cannabis. And, these drinks are adaptogenic ingredients. So something that you wake up in the morning and you're in pain. And so it's got yerba mate to give you energy. But at the same time, it's got turmeric. It's sort of like a green juice meets an agua fresca somewhere in the middle. And then depending on the morning formula or the evening formula, how the ingredients vary. But it's kind of like, I say, that other of these drinks, you take them to the party, and us, you take to meditation
Huh.
and to the office, and it's microdosing. So it's been very, I never imagined that it would take so long. It's going to be 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And so in the process, it's just been very, very, very time consuming. And, because of my illness, my lupus, it's been my passion, which
Okay.
is why I also through the years went more and more into wellness, the aspect of food as medicine, hence the last book. Because truly, for myself, it is how I've been able to treat myself, in the sense that I try not take, cortisone only when it absolutely, gets to, but, I have to do pain management
Mm.
daily. I can't be taking opiates. And, my life is the difference between pain being at a 3 or at a 10, and having to get through life.
Mm.
So it's sort of become a passion project of how do I am able to manage something that can help me and other people feel better without having to take 4 ibuprofens in the
Right.
morning
Yeah,
just to be
because
able to get through your shower and your coffee, and then like by the time you're driving to work, I think I can do today,
yeah,
that
and that's
sort of
not
thing.
sustainable because you take that much ibuprofen,
Right.
it's going to take a toll on your
You
kidneys,
can't.
and yeah.
You
So
can't.
Although
So
we
that's
we did consider the breakfast of champions to be 3 Tylenol and a beer, which
no,
is appropriate for anybody that was at the cocktail thing last night, which I
no.
was
Well,
not. And we're wildly in favor of any cannabis-based drink.
I was
So
going to say, it
well,
sounds
I
I
was
think
going to
we'll be your
say,
best customers. Yes.
if you need a guinea pig to test the different formulas, Defo is your man because he is.
She's already cured my gout. What are you talking about? I'm feeling no pain. I was a
we
little bit
can't
shaky
do
when
it
I
in
started.
Florida. It's illegal in Florida, so
okay,
we
so it
do it in
is.
California.
You never saw
But eventually, the
God
tide will
willing.
turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because
Let's
again,
see. Let's hope.
and to be serious here, I have a mom who, she's been battling cancer for a long time, and she has good days and bads, and
Sorry
sometimes we
to
give
hear.
her a little bit of some of the edible help, and it really
Yeah.
eases pain. So, there are
Yeah.
medicinal qualities to some of these
Oh,
substances that are
totally.
still
Yeah.
been classified, by the federal
Right.
government as,
Right.
having no medical purposes. But
Right.
when did you get diagnosed with lupus? Has this been a long term?
This is many years ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
going on to 20 something.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
long term
Yeah.
management. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
doctors give you pills. They don't, they're not into like, let's get you on an anti-inflammatory diet. And, so it really took a lot of myself guinea pigging, what works, what doesn't. And I can tell you, I always know when I'm going to get sick. Generally, it's after, and that means that you get off your game. And so, but it's a lot. I do a lot on my Instagram. When you ask me where can people see you, actually my Instagram is where I do. One of the things that is not popular for people that have had the career that I've had is in food television. Nobody wants to speak about wellness.
Mhm.
It's just not popular. People want to see throwdowns and competition and and food
And
entertainment.
butter and more
Yeah,
butter
yeah,
and
yeah. Nobody wants to speak about these things, or at least the networks don't. So one of the ways in which I found that for me has been very helpful, because there's a lot of people like me. And so then it's really sort of helping people through like how to do it. I try and do it in a fun way. And so
and,
yeah, the
and your Insta
Instagram is,
is at Ingrid Hoffman Official. Is that it?
yes, 2 F's and 2
Two
N's.
F's, 2 N's at Ingrid Hoffman Official. That's the
Yeah.
Instagram where you could catch all of Ingrid Hoffman's latest, I guess, the things that she's working on, and reels and all kinds of wellness tips that,
Yeah.
again, we all want to stay well, and food and beverage is a big part of that. So, hey, thanks for spending some time with us today. I really appreciate it, and
Thank
enjoy
you.
your
Thank you so much.
yeah. And
Am I going to see you tomorrow or the day after?
you mean on Saturday? Well, I'm going to be at the barbecue battle tomorrow night. I'm going to be at the grand tasting on Saturday. You'll see me everywhere. I am.
Boy, you're going to be feeling good on Monday.
My new health plan begins on Monday, and I will be reading all of your tips.
One place you won't
Drinking
see Mike on
tips.
Monday is the public scale, which is always about 7 pounds over. So that would be too depressing. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not a pretty sight. All right,
Trust
Ingrid,
me,
great
this
catching
Monday
up.
I'll
We'll
be
see you
feeling the
soon.
same way.
All right, safe
Thank
travels
you so
tomorrow.
much for the opportunity.
Good luck. Yeah,
and for
getting back
sharing
here.
with us. Bye, guys.
See you
Feel
later.
better.
Ciao.
Very nice
All right,
young
well,
lady.
that was fun. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was good, interesting. I didn't realize that she
Lubie and I, and you may know
this.
this woman, but we have a
That's
mutual
very
friend that
familiar.
has lupus, was kind of spearheading some lupus agendas, and she would open up her bag and there was a pharmacy inside. No, literally. I mean, I'd never seen so many pill boxes or capsules as I saw that day. Unbelievable. I mean, cancer patients on chemo aren't taking that much medication.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nice if you can get a breakthrough. Surprising. I mean, Ron DeSantis has time to send migrants over to Cape Cod, but he can't approve a little marijuana, usage for medical purposes. Come on, Mike.
Well,
Where's
that
your
would
city
be-
desk instincts?
That
Start
would be
writing some
also a
letters.
matter for not just the executive branch, but also the legislative.
Yeah, it's got to
branch.
be
It's the-
national as well.
need the-
They'll do
well,
whatever
no,
the
it
guy says.
has to be the state legislature has to move to make it,
Well, they're
more
progressive
widely
here in Florida. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh man. So hey, let's talk about our friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse because
That's medicinal food right there because it's
Well,
so
it-
good. You can't help but be in a good
can
mood
be
when you
healthy.
leave there.
If you want
I
to.
think part of overall wellness is just feeling good and getting into a good place, and
You like
there
to
are
feel like
many-
you got your money's worth too anytime you're doing anything.
that too. And
Yeah.
again, there's many different health plans and diets, and obviously people who go keto will have a great time at Tropical Acres because it's a protein rich environment, we like to call it. I love it because I love their prime rib, I love their filet mignon, I love their rack of lamb. And when I am being a little bit more health conscious, I forsake the potatoes and the starches, and I just get a little bit of the spinach. And you could get steamed
We have
broccoli.
not seen you do that, in all honesty.
I was gonna say spinach.
No, I always get the cream spinach.
Spinach.
I happen to
Oh,
like
okay.
the cream
Cream
Oh,
spinach.
spinach.
yeah,
I
cream.
don't know the cream spinach. is
All
on
right.
the,
Well, I had to leave out
top of
cream
the list
part,
of
so
health
I'm trying to
items.
sell it as healthy. I can't really say.
Very good.
Well, they
Cream
have healthy
spinach would be a
beans.
health
I mean,
item.
But-
cream
but
I
it's
thought that at
green.
one time. Yeah, I used to
Yeah,
think,
it's
wow, I ate the
green.
cream spinach today. Then I found out what was in it. Not at Tropical Acres per se, but anywhere.
No, it's a little bit richer because they mix it with the heavy cream,
Yeah.
but that makes it taste good, and it gives you all the dairy that you need too. So, Tropical Acres is at 2500 Griffin Road, just west of I-95 and the airport in Old Fort Lauderdale / New Dania Beach. It is a perennial. It's been there since 1949. That's older than Defo, and it is one of those places where you could go for a special occasion, birthday, anniversary, or any occasion, just going out to celebrate being alive on a Thursday night, which is coming up tonight. And you go in there, you could get happy hour on the bar from 4:30 to 6:30, have yourself a nice little cocktail and appetizer at a reasonable rate, even below reasonable rate. Like unbelievable head scratching. How did they do this rate? And then you go in, slide into the dining room and get your nice main course there that's served with a salad and a side dish. There's your healthy part. The salad is wonderful.
It is.
And
That was all you had, Mike Mayo. But you're not
yes.
doing that at
well,
Tropical
no,
Acres.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But
You can.
yeah, we love the Studiali family. Jack and his sons Joe and Jackson are running the front of the house now, and of course you have the butcher shop that's open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. You can pick up all the fine products to cook at home. They have entertainment coming up the next few weeks and months. You could go online to tropicalacres.com to see the full lineup. And most of all, you could also go back again and again and use your loyalty reward card because you get it punched every 13. Oh, for every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one on the house. There's so many ways to save, such good deals at Tropical Acres. And don't forget, half price wine night, Mondays and Tuesdays. That's the place to go. Tropical Acres closed on Sundays, but tell them the Lunchbox sent you, and you can't go wrong.
dynamite place and staple of the South Florida dining scene here. I always enjoy my experiences there. All right, we'll find out how drunk Mike Mayo got and what was the winning cocktail.
Oh yeah, I'm
And
sure.
then, there's no doubt there's some other things and big events on the horizon here. So we're looking forward to all of that here on the Lunchbox, where we'll return in a moment.
You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox, and it is a Thursday. Tomorrow is Gulfstream Friday. If you get a chance, it's going to be a beautiful day. Get off work early, play a little hooky, come on out and see us at Gulfstream Park, right on the track apron there, just a little bit north of the finish line. We'll be eating maybe some cake from that vending machine for $9.
I don't know if you would consider this of any value from a programming standpoint, but a friend of mine is in town from New Jersey. We call him the Godfather of Fun. Charmiona Chef Vol is up there. So just hearing his story about that place alone would be worth it. But he is the ultimate, and we've been discussing this sort of on the periphery on the show and other shows for a while now. He's the ultimate at sneaking booze into any event that you otherwise might find yourself getting clobbered, i.e. the hockey game, right? So I don't know. I mean, it would be worth it, I think, as a public service to have this gentleman, his name is Don, on the show, and he would get a big kick out of it, just to talk about the different ways that he has circumvented various security, as tight as it may be, and gotten booze of his own and saved a ton of money for him and his friends into
Lubie is
virtually
shaking his
any
head.
location.
I
Any
just-
location.
I just like the world Defo lives in. It's so different than like
Normal.
that would have
people.
been
And he
important.
calls me a strange cat.
20
Okay,
years
I
ago.
mean,
You are a strange cat.
Defo,
There's no doubt.
we're not even we pre-gamed, I guess, even into my 20s. But like I don't think of pre-gaming or like sneaking in like alcohol. Now I don't also pay the prices you guys pay. Like, I'm
If
not-
you had 2 rounds of drinks in a hockey game, you're
I don't
saving
pay the
200 by being able to just even master the most simplistic of this guy's techniques, which I've never seen anything like it. We're in a race book at the Borgata where, even if the drinks are free, you're still getting whacked for $5 every time somebody comes around, and you're not getting call drinks. And then this guy opens up like a little thing that you would have never thought had anything in it. And it was a full-blown bar, maybe more elaborate than some of the, mixologists that you ran across last night. I asked him to make me a prickly pear margarita, and he made one like in seconds.
you know what? It reminds me of my grandfather. He used to travel around with this little carrying case. He had like a little bar kit that he
That's
would
it.
bring with him. He was the life of
Cleverly
every
disguised
party.
as I
A
had that
dental.
little,
He was a dentist, like my father, and my grandfather was a dentist, and people thought he had his like dental kit in there, and it was actually
this
a
guy will
full
have
bar.
a walking boot and then take it off, and boom, it's like a full-blown bar. I mean,
Well, one place you didn't need
do you want to have him on
sneak
the show? That's the question. Even for
The
a few
question,
minutes,
the answer is, we'll see. We'll
What do you
see
mean
how
you'll
desperate
see?
we are for material. You can bring him on. I don't
No,
care.
I
mean,
think it's a public service. I really do. And plus, his knowledge of the Jersey restaurant scene is worth at least a few minutes discussion.
and that's relevant how to our South Florida.
Well, people travel all over the place, and they like to know a good place.
To
How many
Jersey.
times
you
let's see
travel
South
to
Florida?
Jersey every other month to use Mustang's points to get your freebies? But
Well, and
most of the audience,
I
we like to
had a
talk about
flashback to one of the
South
most
Florida.
horrible, even for free, when Gordon Ramsay at his restaurant had the nerve to bring out literally like a thimble of lobster bisque at about I think it was like $28, and then they had a bowl that when you poured the thimble of the lobster bisque in, somehow the way the bowl was configured, it actually filled the bowl, which was impossible. I thought the amazing Kreskin was serving me dinner. I mean, it's like, how could that possibly, that little
That's
shot of
unfortunate.
lobster bisque
Well, tomorrow I'm
fill this
sure
bowl?
we're going to have another fabulous food experience at Gulfstream too. I'm sure Joe's going to bring out stuff, but yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll consider it. Everything
And
is
it sounds
under
like a
advisement.
bluff, man. Why don't you
Well,
just
you can
commit?
do it. You can put them on.
Either make a
I'll go bet
commitment,
the early
you know.
double for a change. I'll just leave. And you guys could.
You
I-
bet like an
I-
hour before the races because you already know what you're going to do.
So one place you don't have to sneak in cocktails was last night's bar fights, and it was a great time. I mean, you can't ask for a better venue. That rooftop place. I don't know if you've been there, Defo.
I
on
haven't been
top
there,
of-
no.
No, it's spectacular. You get the whole view of the downtown Fort Lauderdale skyline. It's right there at the corner of Andrews Avenue and Las Olas. It's the headquarters building for the restaurant people and Tim Petrillo. And at the bottom, they have their little food incubator site called TRP Taste, where they have kind of visiting chefs come in. They do special dinners. And on the top floor is this beautiful rooftop setting, and they have some fire pits going around there. Last night was perfect weather, clear, not too cold. And they had, the three mixologists came, and I ran into Ed Randolph, the defending barbecue battle
Nice.
champion. He's in town, and he actually was going up after the event last night to start smoking his meats for the
I thought you
competition.
were
He
going
has
to
a
say he went up to the roof and smoked a joint. What do you?
Oh, he's a pit master. So he
Yeah.
actually has a friend now that opened a restaurant in Palm Beach or West Palm Beach that he was has a full on smoking operation, smoker, and so he was going up there to do something with his, I don't know if it's briskets or what, but Ed was going up there to do his prep work, was spending the night up there. But it was good to see him, and told him looking forward to seeing what he had on tap for Friday night's barbecue. And again, everything is sold out. There are a couple of dinners tonight. I'll be at the Burlock Coast dinner for Paula Da Silva and friends, including her friends Brad and Dave from Even Keel Fish Shack, our sponsors and friends. So looking forward to that. But for those who want to still get a taste of the goings on, you go onto the vlfoodwine.com website, and best option of all is the free family day on Sunday. That's going to be all day at that same Las Olas beachfront park, where you can bring the kids. It's all ages. There's going to be demonstrations, activities, and all kinds of cool stuff, and also Jason Smith, who we talked with yesterday, selling all his Lord Honey merchandise and cookbooks and all that stuff. So that's going to be fun. Go to vlfoodwine.com to check out what's left. You could probably score a ticket to one of those dinners going on tonight or the Sunday brunch at the Temple Street Eatery in Fort Lauderdale. So that's vlfoodwine.com. But getting back to last night, so 3 mixologists.
Cocktails, like, okay, because that's my thing. A lot of the time when you go for these cocktails, they'll throw they throw in a bunch of weird stuff and it looks cool, and then you taste it and it's like, what the hell? So I was curious how it was going to be. Like, would they be
so the way it worked last night, there was 3 mixologists. There was Miles Robinson, who is based now up in Boca, but he's worked all over the place. Tony Bucari, who's the lead mixologist for the Restaurant People group. And then Chevy Farrell, who's also a veteran. He's been around. And this guy has a lot of charisma. They put on a show like Tom Cruise. They each of them prepared 2 cocktails from the presenting sponsors were Whistle Pig bourbon and rye. They had a rum drink. So there was various creations they made. The audience actually voted. Each of them put out 2 drinks, and then the audience voted of which of their 2 drinks could advance to the finals. Okay. And then the judging panel was me, a veteran mixologist named Eric, and our friend Josie from Bubbles and Pearls was there. I didn't realize she was going to be there. I love seeing Chef Josie. She's great. She was great, and she's fun to sit next to and drink with. And we did, the tasting of the final 3 drinks. I didn't realize that witty repartee was going to be required on my part, because there was a MC with a microphone. He started asking all the judges questions after each drink. But I had to say, I was feeling good and I rallied, and I actually I killed last night. There's nothing more exciting. There's like a group of, all the bartenders have their kind of friends and cheering sections, and when we're sampling our drinks and talking about it, and people letting up hoots and hollers. But I had the crowd working well. I heard them cheering and laughing, and that's always it's a good heady feeling. So live audience gets you going. And I probably drank a little too much because all the drinks were delicious. But in the end, it was Miles Robinson. Like Tony prepared kind of a take on an old fashioned using the bourbon that used a little sprig of thyme, the herb thyme. But it was kind of a basic drink, which you probably would have liked. And it was expertly made, well balanced. But we're looking for a little pizzazz and creativity. Chevy came up with this like a hibiscus flavored rum drink that was it was a little bit sweet. But then the eventual champion was Miles, and he just knocked everybody off their feet with this drink called the Feels, like feels good. And he said it'll make your tongue dance, and it really did. It was really, like you were saying, sometimes they put all these ingredients in, and when he listed the ingredients there, I was like, this sounds like it could be a disaster, because it had the 6-year-old Whistle Pig rye whiskey, charred pineapple puree, spiced simple syrup, lemon juice, and walnut bitters. And I thought that might be a train wreck in a glass, but no. Everything came out like just superb. Like every element that you tasted made sense. You could actually taste a little hint of the walnut. It seemed like there was a little hit of like vanilla in the simple syrup. Had a little spice, and the lemon, the citrus, and then he had this charred pineapple slice on top, along with the pineapple puree. And it was a whiskey-based drink, which you never know how that's going to work with the fruit. All the judges were blown away. He had great personality. And he had these specially designed napkins, cocktail napkins, that he set down in front of us while he was making his presentation. And old school hospitality is very important. Like when you're in a bar competition, to set that napkin down in front of the people who are at the bar before you serve their drink. That's an element that is becoming lost a lot of times. But he had these specially designed napkins, and on it said, "Get ready to have your mouth dance." And it was very funny. He had great personality, and he ended up bringing home the gold. So that was a great event. Job well done to Kate and Phil out there. I think they had about 180 people out there.
Oh, wow.
And my advice to these things is right at the beginning, everybody shows up, and then there are a little bit of lines to get the various drink stations. Show up about 45 minutes into it, and then everything kind of dissipates, even at the front door. So that's my advice if anybody's holding a ticket to the barbecue battle tomorrow at the Hyatt-centric hotel downtown Fort Lauderdale. I think it's called for 7 o'clock. There might be a VIP hour from 6 to 7, but get there about 7:45. Everything goes till 9:30, 10, and then the lines dissipate. So that's my pro tip of the day for food festival attendance. So
very good. You're rolling, Mayo.
do we have any more breaks? Let's
yeah, we do.
let's
Come on,
do.
keep
Let's,
track of the show here, kid. What are you doing? You're running the
I'm
show.
out of it. I'm kind of,
running,
I
right
took
into
my
the ground.
2
You've been
Advil.
fine so far.
I'm rolling.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You got to get one of those health drinks that
I was
Ingrid
gonna
makes.
say,
No,
love
maybe I need
Yeah.
to talk to what's your friend Tony, the guy who sneaks in the drinks everywhere. Maybe
Oh,
I just
Don.
need to drink.
Don O'Malley is the guy's
Don
name.
O'Malley.
He's on. Book him for 12:10 tomorrow. We'll have him.
No, I mean, sometimes you see, things. I mean, it doesn't matter what endeavor you're in. If you're the best at it, best in the world at it, there's a distinction to it.
Okay.
And this guy is the best in the world at setting up his own individual bar under any circumstances. Doesn't matter. You could be at a Springsteen concert. You
A
could be
Super
at a ball
Bowl
game.
with all
You could
those
be
Magnum and
at the
whatever
Super
the metal
Bowl.
detectors.
You could roll onto an airplane with this stuff. I mean, it's just incredible.
I don't want to know how he gets this stuff in there, Defo. But
Different
maybe I do.
different methods all the time. That's the thing. And I mean, like he'll have a bouquet of flowers. It looks like that he's bringing into Monmouth Park to help celebrate a wedding. And the next thing you know, it's a full blown bar. I'm like, a magician. This guy is like David Copperfield with the.
Meanwhile,
with this
you
kind
got
of
to
thing.
tell me the restaurant so I could start coming up with my ponderous clues or obtuse.
Oh,
clues.
yeah.
I have two, easy ones,
All right,
but
just,
I
text
think
me.
you're going to dismiss the first one because you'll think it's
All right.
sort of beneath, highfalutin tastes of your Let's Eat South Florida 96,000
We get rock and
followers.
roll ribs. It's not like that place.
Rock and roll ribs. I mean, it's in the same category as a rock and roll
All right,
ribs.
well,
Maybe a little more, distinguished in terms of
text me after
presence
the
in South
show.
Florida.
All right. Hey, let's take our final break. We got 2 more things I want to cover tonight. One is that my Walmart honeymoon is over. I
Oh,
had
what
a-
about the price of
Yeah,
eggs,
what's
Mayo?
right now?
Jesus
We're
Christ.
Well,
going
we're
on
gonna talk
eggs,
about
right? Okay,
Yeah.
we can only come
and number 2, I want to do a spot review. I opened up another one of those jarred tomato marinara sauces that did not make it into the Taste Sauce Fest last week. And let me tell you, it was a contender. It should be in the top 3. It's medals.
Mids?
It's called
Mids,
no, Victoria's. Mids
all
made it. Was in last week, and everybody poo-pooed it, including you. Don't you even remember
That
that?
was a lousy jar of
You
mids. It
said,
wasn't as
quote,
good as the
I
one
didn't say
bought.
I liked it.
Yeah.
All right, let's take our final break and we'll talk about Victoria's marinara and the disappointing experience at my neighborhood Walmart market. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. Back on the Lunchbox, and yeah, we saw that beautiful commercial for Visit Lauderdale, and I just want to remind everybody that this is the time of the year. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your loved ones, relatives. Greater Fort Lauderdale is welcoming everyone under the sun, and that means especially all you foodies out there. This is the week the big festival is going on, but even beyond that, once it's over, it has now become, even as Ingrid Hoffman was saying, it's just a place where you could really explore and have a great time. Is all the different cuisines. You don't need to go to down south anymore to check out all the great South American, Latin American food. It's all right here in the 954. You've got dockside dining with breathtaking views, lively cafes along Las Olas Boulevard, award-winning chefs like Timon Balou at the Catherine, they're serving up every cuisine imaginable. So much creativity, so much passion, so much quality. So come stay and play in Greater Fort Lauderdale and discover taste sensations at more than 4,000 area restaurants. And don't forget about, well, I haven't forgotten yet because my head is still pounding from all the delicious cocktails that I maybe overindulged in last night. You got the thrilling nightlife scene down here, craft breweries along the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trail, hidden speakeasies, rooftop bars, expert mixologists serving up amazing cocktails. It's a never-ending culinary celebration here in Greater Fort Lauderdale, and everyone's invited. So for more information about upcoming events, deals, promotions, go to visitlauderdale.com. All right, guys. So
what happened at Walmart?
Okay, so this morning, I made my weekly run for eggs because Mom needs her eggs, and
That sucks that she eats eggs every day.
Well, yeah,
right
that's
now,
her.
You have to buy them in the giant 18-pack now.
No, I need some of Jason Smith's hens that I need him to smuggle some of his.
Well, why don't you buy a couple of chickens?
Chicken. Yeah, you should have a chicken.
Called hens because roosters lay eggs.
So have a hen. You should get a coop.
I can get a coop in my backyard. Have Jason ship me a couple of chickens.
No one would think it was out of character if you had a chicken coop back there.
Yeah.
They just say, yeah, that's Mayo, man. He used to write sports for the Sun Sentinel.
So I basically had 3 things on my list this morning that I always get at Walmart because it's been much cheaper than my local Publix. One is the eggs, but I went to the display case and lo and behold, my Eggland's Best, which is still priced at $2.92 a dozen there, completely wiped out. They have no Eggland's Best. Their own store, generic brand there at Walmart, they call it Great Value. Well, now they boosted the prices. It almost doubled in 2 weeks. It used to be $2.32 for a dozen of their large eggs. It was $4.84 today.
They're talking $8 in a lot of places now.
Okay, so
as a common price.
I have to ask. Cat Williams does a bit in his most recent special about how it is weird that there was a wing shortage, but there wasn't a thigh shortage. There wasn't a breast shortage. It's the same chicken. So how is there a wing? What is going on with eggs? Do we have an egg shortage?
Yes. Eggs. So the official explanation is there was this really big widespread outbreak of avian flu last year. The avian flu, not only did it affect a bunch of birds, but when I guess they're afraid that basically they had to eradicate a whole bunch of these egg-laying hens because of the avian flu, and it wiped out the whole production supply and chain. I guess up to 30% of the usual supplies wiped out. It's going to take a while for, I guess, hens to reproduce or get new ones, online laying eggs again. What I don't understand is how, there was big variance between different supermarkets, between, different pricing. And now it seems like all the eggs everywhere is up. But the bottom line is now I'd rather just buy the organic eggs at $5 and change than the run-of-the-mill eggs at $4.99 or $4.80. I know this is scintillating stuff. So the bottom line is I left eggless. Then I went to try to get my water. I get my Zephyr Hills water cases there because they're more cheaply priced. And they were completely out of that. And then I just got my little Breyers ice cream because my mom has ice cream for dessert. But then I got stopped in my tracks because I was going down the pasta aisle, and I'm a big, dried pasta fan because I have to taste all my sauces with it. De Cecco pasta is an Italian brand that is like premium pasta that now is going for $3 and change a box at Publix. It was going for $2.50 something cents at Walmart, but I saw they had it's a clearance sale. They're getting rid of the Cecco for some reason, and it was priced at 63 cents a box, which is
Did you buy them out?
For it was the 63 cents clearance thing. I didn't buy the whole thing, but I took 6 boxes. I figured, all right, this will last a while.
You'll be eating spaghetti for the next 3 weeks. That's good.
And, instead of gluten-free, I'm just one big ball of gluten.
Gluten-free. I mean, to me, I understand some people have to have stuff that way because of allergies or whatever. But given a choice,
I love my pasta. I love pasta with potatoes. Give it to me every day. I could eat it every day. So, and I go to the register, check out, expecting to ring it up at 63 cents 6 times.
Uh-oh.
And boom, it comes up $2.53.
Oh, that was going to be $6.30. That would have been even more.
No, but then like I call over the associate and I show her. Of course,
you raised a stink at Walmart. You were one of those guys.
I'd already taken the picture because I was going to show. I posted on Let's Eat like this is a great deal. How many would you buy? Would you wipe out the whole supply? And she then looked up the code, and it turned into it was that only the thin spaghetti and the angel hair was priced at 63 cents a box. Well, there was no thin spaghetti or angel hair. That was already wiped out. Yeah. They had this box of spaghetti sitting over the 63. It was a bait and switch. Yeah. And I said, I'm not taking any of these. So I ended up like no eggs, no water, and bait and switch on the pasta.
So you were that guy at the cash that the guy behind you was making a face as you called several managers over and then left the stuff ultimately.
There was nobody behind me at the time, but so yeah, and it just
imagine if the guy recognized you from the show too. Said, "You're Mayo, you're on the Lunchbox."
I know he won $5,000 last week, and he's arguing over 30.
There's a woman ahead of you with like 11 shopping carts full of stuff, in
the 10 line.
So anyway, and my last Publix experience was very positive because I did nothing but like buy BOGOs and things on sale. So I got like for less than $60, I got what felt like
like
$120 worth of stuff. And so like my last Publix experience, very good. The recent Walmart experience, very bad. So the tide is turning. The tide.
But the eggs all around universally. I was watching news stories about it.
Oh, it's insane.
Some people are paying like $8 a dozen for a dozen eggs. 75 cents a copy. Unreal.
My mom needs the eggs, so I'm going to pay any price. Don't tell them. All right. The Victoria sauce. It was great. I got home last night and I was a little bit hungry still, and I had my slice of pizza last night. The French bread loaf, the French Stouffer's French bread pizza. So I'm up to 11. I couldn't get a slice today because my local joint only does pies, and I didn't want to wait around. So we're at 11. The number is 12. I'm going to be like the Dolphins with the season win total because now we're getting into the Gulf Stream part of the week. But
you can have a slice there.
Gulf Stream has pizza. I'm just going to buy you a
pizza
slice
down
tomorrow.
there.
I just got to have 2 slices between now and Sunday, and I hit the over. So
I don't know if you count those slices where you blotted the grease off, though. I mean, which was a total disgrace, and I'm glad you were universally trashed by everybody.
What's interesting,
being the leader of Let's Eat South Florida, everybody just said the same thing.
Of all people,
Tom, everybody said the same thing. A lot of people did it.
Everybody said the same thing. They all said you're a loser. They did.
Misinterpret.
Everybody. 99%.
What I'm going to say
this is where you infuriate
all people, me. Tom T, who we go to, all three of us, he said folding. So he said I was wrong in that, but blotting is okay. He actually okayed blotting, which weird because he's Italian. Yeah. He's Italian.
I told
raises questions about Tommy. Also.
I told Joe Cassell because he said blotting.
Joe is absolutely right.
Sin. Yeah. No, if you're dealing with good quality cheese and those places that pour a little olive oil,
There's no qualification.
Then you don't blot. But when you have cheap cheese that gives off a lot of grease, then it's
get me off of this show, Louie. Just take me right out of here. I can't even listen to this excuse making.
Analyze the blotting.
Oh my God! When you have a certain cheese, I mean, come on.
It's a blotter,
no, you don't think there's a difference in quality between different pizzerias?
Yeah, maybe so, but nobody takes a napkin and smears the pizza. You
call me a nobody? I do it. A lot of people do it.
I'm telling you. I read the.
You sound like a certain ex-president.
It was 99-1.
Everybody says.
Everybody says.
Everybody doesn't blood.
Your mother even was against you. I mean, it was unbelievable. B. Mayo weighed in on this.
Now we're in Brooklyn. Your mother. Hey, so the final thing, Victoria's marinara sauce from Brooklyn. Really good. If it was in a blind taste, I mean, I ordered it knowing what it is. It's in the 8s. I would say it was in the top 3. It was a medalist contender. I'd be interested to see how it does in a blind taste testing. It's one of those that had a rich, lustrous, tomatoey thing.
Bring some out by itself and we'll grade it.
Tomorrow.
No, not right now. I mean, we got to get out of here. Yeah. You don't have to drink the sauce.
It's from Brooklyn.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. Perfect way to sign off. All right, we'll see you guys next time on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
No, and one of the keys, what I noticed, a lot of these marinaras, instead of using sugar, they are using diced carrots, and it gives it that sweetness. I don't like that. This one is just pure tomato and a little onions and olive oil, sea salt, garlic, basil, spices.
Well, have another gulp.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna wrap it up for today.
I would. I mean, definitely losing all focus on purpose here.
Let me just record you.
Just to defend an indefensible act of blotting a pizza. Unbelievable. All right, we'll see you guys next time. We'll leave you. Mayo's in another world here today, so I'll have to take charge.
Enjoy every.
We'll see you tomorrow,
jar
Gulfstream
sauce.
Park, everybody. The
Enjoy
contest will be
every-
on again.
Enjoy every pizza slice. Enjoy every cocktail, and enjoy every sandwich.
Every jar of sauce.